Everything happened in slow motion. One moment I was standing, and the next I was airborne. My mind couldn't process what was happening fast enough. A blurry figure, the ceiling, my feet, then impact. I landed hard, my upper back taking the full force of the fall. A crunching sound echoed in my ears, followed by searing pain spreading through my body. My head throbbed, my torso ached, and darkness swallowed me whole. When I regained consciousness, my vision was hazy. A fluorescent light flickered above me. I tried moving, but my body refused. Even the smallest breath sent sharp agony through my ribs. I wanted to scream, but my voice wouldn't come out. My body was in shock. Then I heard voices. Muffled at first, but growing clearer. "Is he going to make it?" someone asked. "He'll survive," another voice responded. A doctor. I was in a hospital. That realization barely brought relief. My mind was stuck on one thing. How did I end up here? I tried to remember, but only fragments came back. The betrayal, the confrontation, the stares. I felt a jolt of panic. Did I fall, or was I pushed? I kept listening, hoping to piece together the missing parts. His left arm is broken in two places. His back is severely bruised. Possible hip fracture. Concussion. Swelling. But no cranial bleeding. Every injury they listed was a fresh stab of pain. I clenched my teeth, willing myself to stay calm. Then, another voice spoke, low and serious. "We're checking the woman now. She resisted, but I saw blood under her fingernails. We need to collect evidence before she washes it away." A cold chill ran down my spine. The woman, I knew who they were talking about. My wife. And suddenly, I remembered everything. The memories came rushing back like a flood. Each one a dagger to my chest. 3 weeks earlier. Judy was in the shower, steam curling from the half-open bathroom door. Her phone vibrated on the makeup table. One message. Curiosity got the best of me. I glanced at the screen. "Hey, sweet cheeks, I need you again. How about tomorrow afternoon?" My blood ran cold. The sender? Mark Danvers. Her boss. At first, I told myself it had to be a mistake. A wrong number, maybe? But then I remembered something. 1 month ago, I had seen another text from Mark. "You looked so damn fine this morning. I need more of you soon." Judy had laughed it off. "Oh, it's nothing, babe." Mark meant to text his wife, Julie. Our names are right next to each other in his contacts. She even put Mark on speaker, and he played along. "Sorry about that, man." Just trying to spice things up with the wife, we all laughed. That night, Judy and I even made love, like she wanted to erase my doubts with passion. And maybe it worked. I let it go. I trusted her. But now, seeing this new message, the same man, the same flirty tone, I knew. My wife was cheating on me. I clenched my fists, my entire body rigid. How long had she been lying to me? Judy and I met in college. She was the hot, outgoing girl. I was the quiet, bookish guy. It didn't make sense that we ended up together, but somehow we clicked. She always told me, "You're not like the others, Robert. You're real." Real? Then why was she screwing her boss behind my back? That night, I couldn't even look at her. She came out of the shower, towel wrapped around her, smelling like vanilla and betrayal. I forced a smile. "I don't feel good, babe. I think I'll sleep in the other room." She frowned, but didn't push. She had no idea I had just uncovered her secret. That night, I lay awake for hours, staring at the ceiling, my mind racing. I needed proof. I needed to know everything. The next morning, while Judy was out, I installed a spy app on her phone. It was surprisingly easy. Within minutes, I had full access. Texts, calls, location history, everything. And what I found destroyed me. For the next 3 weeks, I lived a double life. By day, I was the same loving husband Judy thought she knew. I kissed her goodbye, sent her texts like, "Hope you're having a great day, babe," all while my stomach churned with rage. By night, I was a man obsessed, reading every text, listening to every call, watching her lie to my face while sneaking around with Mark. What I discovered shattered me. "Let's do it at your place. Your husband will be out of town, right?" Mark texted. "Yeah, and stop calling Robert a loser. It's disrespectful," Judy replied. "Oh, come on. You love it when I go rough on you. He can't handle you like I can." My hands shook as I read. My wife was defending me, but only because Mark was mocking me. And then came the worst part. "Wear protection this time, or we're done. Robert and I are trying for a baby," Judy insisted. "Ha, what if it breaks? He could end up raising my kid without even knowing," Mark joked. "Not funny. I'll use a seed flush if that happens." I nearly threw up. This wasn't just cheating. She was building a future with me while sleeping with another man. I had always imagined us having kids, our own little family. But now, I couldn't even look at her without feeling sick. I needed to act. First, I started moving my money, paid off all our debts, liquidated assets. My lawyer drafted divorce papers, but I held on to them. Not yet. Not until I caught her red-handed. I waited for the perfect moment. And then, fate handed me the opportunity. One night, Judy walked into the kitchen, stretching lazily in her shorts. "Hey, babe, aren't you supposed to be out of town next week?" I nodded. "Yeah, but something came up. I'll be staying home." She froze for a fraction of a second. Not enough for most people to notice. But I did. She was expecting me to be gone. That's when I knew. She had planned to bring Mark to our home, and I was going to be there waiting. I played my part perfectly. For the next few days, I acted completely normal. Loving, affectionate, even playful. I didn't want Judy to suspect a thing. Meanwhile, I made my own plans. I told my boss I needed personal time off. Then I set up hidden cameras in the living room, the hallway, and, most importantly, our bedroom. I made sure they were well placed, disguised in everyday objects. No way was she talking her way out of this. Then I waited. On the day I was supposed to be out of town, I left the house early, just like normal. I even texted Judy around noon. "Flight was delayed. Gonna be a long day. Miss you?" Her reply came instantly. "Aw, sorry, babe. Can't wait to see you when you're back." I stared at the screen, disgusted. 15 minutes later, Mark's car pulled into our driveway. Right on schedule. I had parked my car 2 streets away and walked back, slipping in through the basement door. The cameras were rolling. The moment I heard their laughter, that flirty, disgusting laughter, my blood boiled. I crept up the basement stairs listening. Then I heard her voice. "Do me, Mark! Pound me hard!" A rush of white-hot rage shot through my veins. I tightened my grip on the cold metal in my pocket. I had 2 choices. 1. Storm in, guns blazing. 2. Wait. Let them finish. Let them think they got away with it. And then, make them pay. I chose the second, because revenge is best served cold. I waited in the basement like a predator in the shadows. Upstairs, I heard moaning, grunting, and the sickening sound of betrayal. My fists clenched so tightly that my nails dug into my palms. I had to stay in control. 20 minutes passed. Then I heard footsteps. Mark was leaving. Perfect. As soon as I heard him chuckling with Judy near the front door, I made my move. I burst out of the basement, stepping into the hallway. Judy gasped. She went pale as a ghost. Mark spun around, eyes widening. "What the hell?" I looked straight at my wife. "Hope you had your fun." She stammered, clutching her robe. Robert, I thought you were—" I cut her off with a laugh. "Out of town?" "Yeah, I bet you did." Mark took a step toward me, trying to act tough. "Look, man, you're overreacting." I decked him, a hard right hook to his jaw. He stumbled back, cursing. He was bigger than me, but I had rage on my side. Before he could recover, I grabbed him by his shirt and shoved him toward the basement door. "You like screwing around in my house?" I growled. "Then let's take this downstairs." Judy screamed, trying to stop me. I shoved her aside. This wasn't about her anymore. This was about making Mark suffer. Mark fought back, but I had surprise on my side. I forced him down the basement steps. He tripped, tumbling hard. I heard a sickening thud as he hit the ground, groaning. I stood over him, my breathing heavy. He was at my mercy now. "You thought I wouldn't find out?" I hissed. "You thought you could take my wife and get away with it?" He looked up at me, his lip bleeding. "Dude, it was just sex." Wrong answer. I took another step forward. This was far from over. Mark groaned on the cold basement floor, trying to push himself up. His smugness was gone. Now he was afraid. Good. Judy rushed down after us, her robe barely hanging on. "Robert! Please! Don't do this!" I ignored her. My eyes were locked on him, the man who had treated me like a fool. "You disrespected me in my own home." My voice was eerily calm. "Now, you're going to understand what that feels like." Mark coughed. "Look, man, I get it. You're mad. But let's talk." I kicked him in the ribs. He let out a sharp cry, rolling onto his side. Pathetic. I bent down, grabbing his shirt, forcing him to look at me. "Tell me, Mark." Did it feel good? Laughing behind my back? Sleeping with my wife while I was out working to build a future with her? He was breathing hard, shaking. For the first time, he had no words. "Answer me!" I slammed him back against the cold floor. Judy sobbed. "Robert, please. I was wrong. But this isn't the way." I turned to her, my eyes burning. "Not the way? Then what is the way, Judy? Should I just forget that you let him do this to me?" She shook her head, crying harder. "I never meant to hurt you." "You meant everything you did." My voice was cold as steel. "You just didn't think you'd get caught." Then I turned back to Mark, my heart pounding. I could end this right now. I could make him feel real fear. I reached into my pocket. Mark's eyes widened when he saw the glint of metal. The gun. Judy screamed. "No! Please, Robert, don't!" I cocked it, aiming straight at his pathetic, cheating face. He started shaking. "Dude, listen, don't do anything crazy." Now he wanted to beg. Now he wanted mercy. But where was my mercy when he was screwing my wife? I smiled. "Don't worry, Mark, I'm not going to kill you." I leaned in, whispering in his ear. "But I will make sure your life is never the same again." His breathing was ragged. He knew I had a plan. And it was just getting started. Mark's face was drenched in sweat. He knew I had the upper hand. Judy was sobbing, pleading with me to let him go, but I wasn't listening. She had already made her choice. I looked straight into Mark's eyes and smirked. You're not walking away from this clean, Mark. You're going to pay. I pulled out my phone, opened the hidden camera feed, and turned the screen toward him. His face went pale. There it was. A full recording of him and Judy. In my house, screwing like animals. Every disgusting sound. Every betrayal. Every moment of him calling me a loser. He gulped. This is illegal. You can't record me without my permission. I laughed. Oh, don't worry. I won't be sending this to the police. I have something much better planned. Mark tried to lunge for the phone, but I shoved him back down with my foot. You don't get to make the rules anymore. Judy's sobs grew louder. Robert, please. I swear I'll do anything. Just delete it. I turned to her, my anger boiling over. Now you want to beg? You weren't begging when you were screwing him in our living room, were you? She covered her face, ashamed. She had no defense. Mark coughed, still struggling to sit up. What do you want? I grinned. Glad you asked. I stepped back, crossing my arms. You're going to confess. To everything. He frowned. What? I tossed a voice recorder at him. Say it. Say you've been sleeping with my wife. Say you came here knowing she was married. Say you threw me down the stairs. His jaw clenched. No way. I shrugged, waving my phone in the air. Fine. I'll send this to your wife, your boss, your kids' school, and, oh yeah, our entire friend circle. Let's see how your life holds up after that. Mark's lips quivered. He looked at Judy, who was still sobbing into her hands. Finally, he broke. His voice was shaky. I was sleeping with Judy behind Robert's back. I knew she was married. I pushed Robert when he caught us. I smiled. Gotcha. I picked up the recorder and put it in my pocket. See? That wasn't so hard. Mark swallowed. Now let me go. I chuckled. Oh no, we're just getting started. I pulled out my phone again and hit send. Mark's eyes widened. Wait, what did you just do? Ding. I held up my phone and smirked. I just sent a copy of your confession to your wife. Mark screamed in rage. Judy gasped, covering her mouth. No, Robert, you didn't. Oh, but I did. The destruction of Mark's life had officially begun. Mark lost it. His face turned red, veins bulging from his neck as he lunged at me like a rabid animal. But I was ready. I sidestepped, sending him crashing into the cold basement floor again. He groaned in pain. Judy shrieked. Robert, stop this. Please. I ignored her. Mark was on his knees, panting like a wounded animal. He knew his life was over. Ding. I looked down at my phone. A new message from Julie Danvers, Mark's wife. Is this real? If you're lying, I swear I'll destroy you. I grinned and sent a follow-up. It's real. Check the videos, check the confession. Your husband is a liar, a cheater, and a coward. It took less than a minute before she replied. He's dead. Mark must have realized it too, because he collapsed against the wall, trembling. His whole world was crumbling, and there was nothing he could do to stop it. Judy stood frozen, hands over her mouth. Oh my God! What have you done? I turned to her, my expression cold. What I should have done the second I saw that first text message. Mark let out a hollow laugh. You think you've won? He spat blood onto the floor. You think this makes you a man? I crouched down so that I was eye level with him. No, Mark. This doesn't make me a man. This makes me free. I stood up and walked toward the stairs. I was done with both of them. Judy's voice trembled. Robert, where are you going? I turned back one last time. Home. And with that, I walked out the door, leaving them to drown in the ruins of their own choices. The fallout was glorious. Mark's wife divorced him immediately. Thanks to my evidence, she took 70% of their assets, leaving him broke and homeless. Mark lost his job. No company wanted to be associated with a scandal like his. He was publicly humiliated, his reputation forever ruined. Judy tried to beg me to take her back. She cried, apologized, swore she would do anything. But my love for her was long dead. I finalized our divorce quickly. I made sure she didn't take more than what she deserved. She lost me, my love, and my trust forever. And me? I moved on. A year later, I was in a new city, with a new life. I found someone who truly valued me. Someone who wouldn't betray me for cheap thrills. And as for Mark? Well, let's just say some people don't survive rock bottom. Karma is real. And sometimes it comes with a camera, a confession, and a little bit of patience.